Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be making that tandoori chicken on the brand new Doori Tandoor, which on my last video you would have seen me unbox. Hopefully you've been able to head over to our Facebook page to retrieve the discount code that the guys at Doori have sent us. I will post the link and the details below that. That discount is still active and they're gonna extend that discount for us so you can all take advantage of that. Tandoori chicken is one of my most favorite things. It's probably second to tandoori lamb, which I will definitely be making on the Doori. What I love about it is you can get the meat into marinade, leave it for a couple of days to marinate, the longer the better, and then just throw it in something like the Doori and cook it in a matter of minutes. You don't need to serve up massive accompaniments with it, you know, a bit of rice, bit of salad, a bit of naan bread, and you're good to go, and the kids love it too. So come over, take a look at our ingredients, and let's get going. Okay, so I am going to confess that I made this up a couple of days ago because I really want that chicken to take on all of the flavors, but I did use the recipe card that came with the Doori. So in here I've swapped out their suggestion of using chicken legs and I've used chicken breast, mainly because my children enjoy that a little bit more. We've got 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. We've got 2 tablespoons of Kashmiri red chili powder. Any chili powder will do though. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, a teaspoon of garam masala, a teaspoon of cumin powder, a teaspoon of salt. We've got half a teaspoon of black pepper, and we've got 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and we've got 100 grams of full fat natural yogurt. I have got the leftovers of the yogurt here, and a little quick recipe that I'm going to show you for a lovely accompaniment to this is going to follow this. So let's start making this up. I've had this marinating in the fridge for about two days, so I'll be skewering this up soon and we'll be cooking it. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves some mint yogurt dip to go with this. It's not quite a Raita because it's got sugar in it, and mint Raita doesn't normally have that. So like I said, one of the big ingredients here is sugar. We want something to kind of sweeten this up. So I've got some caster sugar, and I've got a teaspoon here, and I'm going in with about 5 or 6 teaspoons of caster sugar. That may seem like a lot, but it does really work, trust me. Next ingredient here is some turmeric, which adds a lovely flavour and also a lovely colour. And we're going in with some very basic mint sauce in here. I'm not weighing these ingredients out, I'm just going by look. I can always add some ingredients, so I start off a little bit lighter. Don't go in with too much. Give it a good stir. And this is the leftover yogurt, so nothing goes to waste here, and this will keep for a few days as well. This works really, really well. Okay, so we're now going to start skewering up this chicken. Now, what Doori have done here is given you quite a helpful marker on the skewers as to where the food needs to go. There's little notches. There's one just there, which I hope you can see, and there's one at the top. We need to keep the food in between there. Another really good tip is, and that's in the recipe book as well, is for a potato to just wedge on the edge or end of the skewer here so that our meat doesn't start to slide off. Just before we start to skewer this meat, another helpful tip is to get some oil on these skewers so that the meat slides off when it is cooked. I'm being really lazy and using my spray oil here, and now I'm just going to go in with my hands, get my meat here, go in with my hands and just skewer this. So I've got sizes ranging from relatively small pieces to quite large. The skewers are helpfully quite sharp, so I'm sliding it, just making sure that I'm below the mark there. This is a slightly smaller piece. What we're also doing is making sure that we're not wedging all of this chicken right next to each other. We don't want to be wedging it all together because it won't cook evenly. You want to leave a little bit of space in between. So I'm going to crack on and continue to skewer these up, and then we're going to get ready to cook. Okay, so now we've got our meat skewered up and secured to the skewers using the potatoes. It's time for us to light the Doori. Let's go and have a look at that. So of course, on the day that I wanted to film using the Doori for the first time, it has literally rained and rained and rained. This is the first gap in the rain that we've had today, and I can't guarantee, looking at the clouds, that we won't get a little bit more rain, but I think we'll have a go anyway. So what I've got here is just the base of the Doori at the moment. to ignite this, what I'm going to do is put the ash pan inside, and I'm going to put the grill grate inside, and I'm also going to get my chimney starter. Now there's a couple of ways that you can light the doori. You can put some charcoal in there and use a fire lighter. You can use one of the self-lighting bags, or you can use this method as well. So I'm going to give it a go with some briquettes and the chimney starter. So my chimney starter's in here. I'm just going to fill it right up with some very bog standard briquettes. You'll see from a lot of my videos, I don't always like to use briquettes, but in this instance I'm looking for kind of speed really to get it going. I'm going to set the chimney starter on top of some these little kind of like hay lighters here. The natural fire lighters are quite like those. One thing I will be really interested to see is the airflow under here. So these chimneys need a good bit of airflow, and there's only one real vent at the bottom of this, and there's a few small vents in the ashtray. So I'll be keen to see how quickly and if this can get enough oxygen. The other thing I'll mention as well is I think in my build video I mentioned that this was made of steel or cast iron. It's not, it's made of aluminium, which I suppose is the reason why it's so light and easy to move around. So just a little clarification for you there, but let's get these lit and we will get the chimney straight on top. Okay, so this has been about 10 or 15 minutes, and hopefully now what you can see is a heat haze here. You might not be able to see it on camera, but this is absolutely roasting now, and the chimney has definitely done its job. So any fears that I had around the ventilation in here not being that good are certainly been allayed. It's very, very hot now. The coals at the top are not absolutely burning, but they're not absolutely glowing at the moment, but they will be. So I'm going to tip these out now, and I'm going to let the doori do the rest of the kind of heating process here. So now that the coals have been tipped in here, hopefully you can see. Let's give you a really good look at that. Now that the coals are in there, what we're going to be doing is putting the lid on and letting the doori get up to temperature. Okay, so it's very, very important, and when we're letting this get to temperature, you don't put the lid on. You need that ventilation coming through. What we're going to be keeping a very close eye on is the thermometer, or the heat gauge on the front, which you can see is rising very, very quickly. We need that temperature to be a minimum of 200 degrees before we can start cooking on that. You can see that on the top you've got the temperature in Fahrenheit, and on the bottom you've got the temperature in centigrade, and we need that dial to kind of hit the middle there, the yellow edging onto the red section before we're ready to cook. So the doori is now edging towards 250 degrees centigrade, which it's got up there so quickly. I'm really impressed with that. I think we're going to start going in with the meat now. So I brought the chicken out. I've got a total of 3 skewers. You've got space for up to 6 in here. I'm just going to position them in here. 1 either side and 1 at the back, I think. Beautiful. And now what we're going to do is put our lid on and let that cook. Let's see how long that takes. Okay, so the chicken has been in now for about 2 minutes, and I just want to have a look and see how we're going. And that looks pretty good to me. Obviously not cooked yet. We're going to keep an eye on it with the meat probe, but considering that we're only 2 minutes in and that this is holding quite steadily at just beyond 250 degrees, that's quite impressive. Hopefully you could see that I didn't absolutely fill this to the brim with charcoal, and I'm only using briquettes in there. What you could also do if you wanted a much longer, fiercer heat cook is you could put some lumpwood charcoal in there as well, which will burn a lot longer than the briquettes. But seeing as I'm only cooking this relatively small amount of chicken for the family today, I think a low and slow not a low and slow, but a very quick and fast burn is going to work for this. Also, it will mean that this cools down quite quickly, and you need it to be completely cool before you can remove the ashes and so on. Let's do a few tests around the actual residual heat of this now. So with this test here, what I'm looking at is to see how hot the actual unit gets, and I've got quite a basic kind of temperature gun, and what we're showing here is that this part of the unit is at 122 degrees, so that is very, very hot. So it goes without saying, you don't want to be touching that at all. The base of the unit, as expected, that's about 10 degrees hotter. That's 132 degrees. Again, you don't want to be touching any of that. Let's have a look though at these handles and so on. So the outer handle here is at 34 degrees. So anything hotter than 55, 60 degrees you don't want to be touching. That's too hot to touch. But these are well within that range. And here, yeah, we're showing again 35, 36 degrees. And importantly, the things that you're going to be touching, like the lid, that's showing at 44 degrees, which is a little bit warmer, but still very, very comfortable to touch. And the handles for the skewers, well, they're even cooler, they're 30 degrees. Do you want the kids running around here touching this while it's on? Definitely not, but that goes the same with any barbecue. What we'll also do is run some tests and see how quickly this cools down. But actually the touchable, the usable parts of this are well within touching range. Let's get a read on this chicken, because we have been in here for about 5 minutes now. And I've got two ways of measuring this. I'll use my gun. The outside of that chicken is measuring at 75 degrees, which is actually done, or well within the range of cooked. This one is showing at the top 64, and right on the bottom here, that piece of chicken at the bottom, understandably because it's much nearer the coals, is showing as done as well. Let's put this one away, and let's now go in with the thermopen to check the inside of the chicken. So that is showing at 60 degrees. That is showing at 68 degrees. And that is showing at 57. So what we know is that the chicken at the bottom is going to be cooked much quicker than the chicken at the top, but not, I suppose you're saying much quicker is a little bit of an exaggeration, because it's within 5 or 6 degrees. Okay, so we're 10 minutes into this cook, and I honestly think we're done. I'm gonna just run the probe over some of this chicken again, but let me take this skewer out here and just show you what we've got. Just take a look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful? And we're probing here at, yeah, 80 degrees. So I know that we're done here. Let's take another one out and have another look. Got some beautiful charring on there. Some beautiful caramelization. And again, that chicken is well done. So here we have our cooked chicken. All I'm going to do is remove the potatoes from the bottom, and hopefully this chicken should just slide off of these skewers, and it does. Look at that. Beautiful chunks of tandoori chicken. Okay, now we're cooked, what I want to do is give you a nice close-up the inside of a piece of this chicken. And I think the best one for us to look at right now is this piece here. So I just want to cut that in half and show you. Look at that, check that out. Got the lovely red markings around the outside from the tandoor. We've got a lovely bit of kind of charcoal effect on there as well. And we've got some beautifully moist chicken. Wow, that is superb. So here we have it, guys. This is the tandoori chicken made on the brand new Doori in about 10 to 12 minutes. Lovely thick chunks of chicken. You see I've served that up with that lovely mint yogurt dip there. Just a really basic salad with some lemon wedges, some nice tomato, red onion and cucumber. We've got some flatbreads there today. I didn't use naan breads, flatbreads work just as well. And I had to make sure my guys at Halopenos were included in here. This chicken works lovely with the mango and lime one of theirs. I'll drop a link to their website so you can buy some of that below on this video. So as always guys, thank you for watching. If you did like this video, please press the like button down below and subscribe to my channel. Do also give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook using the links below. And do please check out the Doori website, which is below here now. Lovely food, really easy to make. We've made this on a Sunday afternoon in the best part of about 30 minutes. Prep time on this is about 15 minutes. So if you're looking for something really nice, light and easy to do in the summer, give this a go. Also, give Doori a go, you know, get on their website, buy yourself one of these. I found it absolutely excellent. So until the next video guys, thank you and stay safe.